Let's get more on this. We can speak to Chris Roebuck, who is a visiting professor from Cass Business School in London. Many thanks for speaking to us on TRT World. I can't imagine the Conservatives have much else on their minds other than Brexit. What is your feeling with 6 months to go? Will Theresa May shift on her much criticised Brexit plan?
I think we're in a really interesting position where people need to know that of all the political parties in UK, it's the Conservative Party that was most keen on Brexit. And I think May's problem is very much that I suppose you could divide her party into three groups. Those that want Brexit at any cost, those that want Brexit at a sensible cost, and a few people who don't actually want Brexit. And her fundamental question is, can she get to a point where either she can get the people who are ultra pro-Brexit on board, or can she isolate them so that she can go ahead and produce a Brexit deal that everybody else is happy with? The fundamental problem is, though, even if she keeps her own people happy, does that keep the population happy with potentially a general election coming up in due course?
Well, she's accused MPs who refuse to back her blueprint by saying that they're playing politics. And if we take Boris Johnson, for example, who in the papers has been calling her deranged, how much of this do you think is political?
I think you also need to understand, and Theresa May would like anyone to take Boris Johnson, preferably as far away as possible. There is an underlying agenda there that Boris Johnson has, to some degree, probably felt that he should be Prime Minister in Theresa May's place. So I think there's an underlying idea there amongst his ideas that is the subtext of what he's aiming at. So, and I think also Boris Johnson has a tendency to deal in hyperbole and rather interesting statements. But he's, I suppose, stoking the flames just to perhaps see where it will go for him, just as much as the Conservative Party.
Do you think we could see another referendum, or is that just not a possibility?
I would have said 6 months ago, it's not a possibility. I would think if, to some degree, the Conservative Party starts falling apart because of this, and it looks like the Labour Party might potentially get into government, it might be something that would happen because, the Brexit question was quite simple. Do you want to leave the EU or not? It made no mention of how you want to leave the EU, the cost potentially to you of leaving the EU. And there is a feeling amongst a fair number of people that when they said, yes, they wanted to leave, it didn't mean I want to leave no matter what the cost might be.
That is the issue, isn't it, with that
Indeed.
referendum? Chris, really good to speak to you. Chris Roebuck, a visiting professor from Cass Business School.